I think for the STC, he's continuing to keep this harass up Tester is, and I'm not sure what the STC is going to be able to do. More blink right there from Tester to keep his stalkers alive, but now he's actually backed himself into a bad corner, and it looks like the reinforcements from these 5 barracks are going to be able to deal with these stalkers before they do any more critical damage. And so right now, Protoss count 37 harvesters for Tester, Terran count at 31 harvesters for the STC. He is trying to get up a couple more refineries as well. We also have Zealot charge for those legs for the Zealots, which are going to help against the Marauders and their concussive shells. More gateways coming down as well. And it looks like at this point in the game, really, I would have to assume, yeah, the STC is just going for a very standard 3M build. He's getting Marines, Marauders, and of course dropships, and that is an extremely potent combination against Protoss, as I detailed in my last tutorial video. So now we're going to see what Tester, the defined, the practiced and well-hardened, battle-hardened Protoss player, is going to be able to do against 3-gate blink stalkers. It can be a tall order, but I believe with the proper unit composition and with proper micro, it can be defeated. And I'd like to see him get some Templars for Storm. That is always a good idea against those mass bioballs. Looks like we have a dropship hiding in the corner. Another major battle going on right here. And the STC getting caught up. Although he has this ledge up here, yeah, the Stalker's blinking and going to do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Marauder is going to stim up and run right into the main of Tester to do some economic damage right here. Going to ward away all the probes back to the main. Even though the Stalkers won this mini battle out here for that watchtower, all the mining has been halted at the main expansion for Tester, and that is not a good position to be in. More forces warping in, thank God for pylons and warp gate technology. It looks like Tester is he's gonna kill off this dropship. That is going to be huge. So the reinforced, or the abortion route, the extraction route for these Marauders has been halted. There is no way out, and so those Marauders are gonna fall. They did some good economic damage by forcing these probes to run away, but I'm not sure if that was, you know, the best trade of all trades. So let's take a look at the income tab. 48 probes for the Protoss player, and it looks like the Terran player, the STC, his clanmate, is going to push in to do some more harass. Now going to fall back though, and the battle continues on for both these players. The harvester count reaching 50 now for the Protoss, but his income differential not that much higher than the Terran. So I really think the Terran is still in this. The STC, having been harassed all day long, finally getting a 3rd expansion for himself, but no saturation as of yet, getting dropships out of the starport, so not getting Vikings as I assumed before, getting dropships instead to heal up this 3M combination. And of course, Tester here is going to be forced to figure out some kind of unit comp to deal with 3M. He's going to need, of course, I really think he could use some Templars, but he has not gotten any yet. He does have the gas to afford it, I think. Morphing in more Zealots on the ground, of course, with a charge. The Stalker's blinking in here with some nice shift Q blinking, using the Phoenix to spot on the high ground ahead, and it looks like Tester gonna keep the harass on, but the Stalkers are going to have a tough time dealing with Marauders, especially when they're bunched up like that with the dropship overhead healing. And so it looks like looks like we have another drop coming in here, a double dropship for the STC, dropping off some Marines and Marauders right into the main, the second time today that the main has been dropped by the Terran army. And it looks like this time the Nexus could very well go down with some micro from STC. Oh, I'm not sure why he pulled away. I think with a stim pack he could have easily taken down that Nexus, but perhaps he's going to fall back and try again at a later date. More Zealots warping in right here to that pylon to the south, and a Dark Shrine coming in as well. Does the STC know about the Dark Shrine? No, he does not, and he's coming in for a frontal attack, and this is mainly to distract the Protoss forces while the dropship's coming in once again from the south to possibly snipe off this Nexus. Great multitasking, great double-pronged attack from the STC, and this time he is going to stim and possibly take down this Nexus. It is going to be really close, 12 health, and the Nexus falls to the dropships. And now the dropships, get out of there, the STC, make this mission a success and let those troops have a happy life for the rest of their life. Oh no, but he's gonna drop them off to go for the natural expansion. The dropship is near death, and yeah, these forces have been marooned off to an island in no man's land, but they have definitely done their job for honor, for sure. These forces all having like 5 kills apiece. The Zealots finally surrounding them. But I really think that attack was well worth it. Losing this Nexus is a huge hit, and you guys can see, even though he has more probes right now, Tester's income is drastically lower than the STC, and so that is going to be a huge hit and great maneuvering from the STC. Now he's going to start mining out of this third base, getting a planetary fortress as well, so I really like the STC's thinking here. He might have had less forces than the Protoss army, but with clever maneuvering with this 3M battle, getting the main and the natural, he's able to snipe out that main Nexus. Another confrontation here, but it looks like the SEC is gonna fall back with some nice stim and control, and he's going to be able to hopefully fend off these forces from Tester, and it looks like he will be able to. Tester here needs a third expansion so badly right now. He's just saving up 400 minerals to get a Nexus up, and once he gets that Nexus up and running, he's going to have a much better position. Oh, the Dark Templar coming in here out of nowhere, but thankfully the SEC does have a missile turret placed wisely, and it looks like the DT could sneak its way in here, be an assassin hero and take out a couple of SCVs. Gonna get 2, gonna get 3, no energy for Comstead at this natural, gonna get 4 kills, finally going down to the missile turret at the north. And so both players continuing to trade off as much income harass as they possibly can, and it looks like the Nexus here must have gotten taken out by this dropship, or perhaps the Nexus was never erected. But really, right now, Tester needs another expansion. He needs it so badly. He needs it more than as if he was on an island and needed water. He is so thirsty for another expansion right now. His intake is so much lower than the Terran's, or at least was a lot lower. Now I guess it's about even, as the Terran main is actually starting to get mined out right now. But let's take a look at the army composition. 110 army for Tester right now, but of course the Terran player at 141, and that's because he was able to snipe that Nexus and start to macro and pull ahead of the Protoss player. We have a 4th command center going up right now. Not a good position to be in. We also have the SEC once again rounding about for another potential Nexus snipe, and this is one of those things that is so hard for a Protoss player to deal with that dropship mobility. And once again, of course, those Marauders with those upgrades, as well as those shells doing extra damage to buildings, so deadly. And now it looks like this time around the drop was the diversion, the distraction for the main party right here going in through the front, and now we finally have some Templars with that Psystorm. That is what Tester has needed all day long. Psystorm to deal with the Marines and Marauders, the Bio Ball. That is really the way to deal with all of these infantry. And I'm surprised right now that the SEC doesn't have any ghosts, but it looks like with some nice micro, gonna back away from the Zealots. Nice control right here from the SEC. His stim pack finally wearing off, and oh, Tester GGing out of that game. Nice action-packed Korean versus Korean game right there, and I really like the play from the Terran player, originally getting harassed all game long, but finally pulling himself together and starting to turn the tables against his clanmate Tester, and really nice play from the STC. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that game, and of course, look forward to more HD broadcasts in the near future. Thanks a lot, guys. HD, signing out.